Hello again, Guardians. It's Cortanium, and today we are on Sorrow's Harbor, and we are actually getting out of the map and getting inside of the Pit of Heresy from Patrol Mode, Guardians. This is actually just us getting inside of the Pit of Heresy, which is the new Shadowkeep dungeon from Patrol Mode. This can be done with New Light players, this can be done with Shadowkeep owning players, this can be done from any class as well. And so with that information, Guardians, let's just go right ahead. And you guys may have noticed this from my previous video. We actually glitched right outside of the dungeon, but the dungeon hadn't been released yet. And so that's why we didn't actually glitch inside of it. The dungeon just released about 2 days ago, and we can go inside of it now. I'm going to use a little bit of a different glitch this time that I found to be easier for glitching in the dungeon, so you can spare the time. Because the last glitch was a little bit hard. It had to deal with some uncertain heights and a lot of, really small spaces. But this time, here we go. And just hop over to the start of the strike over here, and all we got to do is hop up this wall here, and we can head back. And this is one of the easiest out of maps you'll ever get, because there's no height barrier. All you got to do is just hop up the mountain wall, and we are outside of the map, Guardian. And just head to the left here and stay on the left as we continue around this thing, and we want to hit the other load zone. And so just follow my footsteps, Guardian, and we will get ourselves inside of that dungeon right quick. You see right below us, this is actually inside of the map, but let's drop below, still outside, and hit the load zone. And you see we've now hit the load zone and we're outside the map. Now there is the dungeon, Guardians, right below us, that entire tube. You guys, if you're warlocks, just glide to it and slide down it, but if you're hunters or any other class, you can pretty much just jump to the side over here. I don't think warlocks will make it because their jump just goes down, but as far as you can, just try to stick to the wall here so you avoid the death barrier around the entire area except for this tube. And so just fall down, Guardians, and now you're at the bottom. Now you're on top of the dungeon. This is about as far as we got when it came to the last video, where we just went outside of the dungeon because they hadn't made it yet, but they've made it now, and there's no death barrier. There's nothing preventing us from actually getting further down in this dungeon. So you can notice we're at the very bottom of the map now, and all you want to do is just notice the orientation of where you are. We want to go that way, Guardians. So just away from everyone and away from the entire area is where the dungeon actually is. And so try to push yourself in this direction. As you can see, we're going to find plenty of ledges to actually hit on, plenty of little cave things and rock things down here. And just keep heading forward, Guardian. And you see we have these two caves below us. But don't worry, Guardian, they're not actually caves. They're just the start of some big expanse of rock that is part of the dungeon. If you tried loading into the dungeon before, you will have seen this. But we're getting into it from patrol, and so you just want to take a step back here and look around for the load zone. And there it is. And now, right now, Guardians, once you hit this load zone, if you want to load into the first part of the dungeon called the Necropolis, you want to kill yourself right now. Get your ricochet gun out and take yourself to the wall and shoot yourself, or you want to go and hop off the map right now and just get your character dead as quick as possible, so you will load into the Necropolis load zone. Otherwise, Guardians, keep on heading down this right side here if you want to get to the pit load zone, because these two different load zones are blocked off by a door, and so you can't have one or the other. You just have to have one or the other. Sorry, Guardians. And so just hop down here, and there's going to be plenty of invisible little things that we're going to be hopping on. You feel like we could just hop directly down there, but no, there's a bunch of death barrier preventing us from doing that. And so just hop to the left side here, and you will hit, there it is, some invisible barrier. Now, this invisible barrier is also coupled with a barrier to our left, like a real barrier, though. And so it's just going to push you away, so you just want to jump all the way up this little crevice thing and just run along it. And we want to jump below us, you see, to that pile of rocks over there. And so just keep running until you eventually fall off. And just sword yourself in, Guardians, and get on these rocks and get, on this little, I don't know, there's some more invisible stuff. You could have possibly got on the rocks. The rocks are easy to get on. But there's also invisible stuff all over the area here. You can just drop down. But watch out, Guardians. There's a lot of death barrier just hanging around this place. And a lot of barriers just hanging around this place. So watch out. You might want to shoot stuff before you fall. And just head this way, Guardians. We want to hop as close as to these tubes and everything as possible as to avoid, because there's a death barrier actually right below us. And so by hopping this way, we are avoiding that death barrier. And so hop all the way over there. And we want to jump over to our left because we want to get actually back inside of the map. We're right on top of the doorway. This doorway right behind us, that doorway is actually closed. This is the difference between the two load zones. The Necropolis load zone is all those little things sitting on the edge of the cliff. Now this load zone is the pit, and it's a bunch of cave systems, and there's actually a barrier on top which prevents us from actually continuing outside of the map, and so we can just hop in the map right here and this little hole, and you guys can hop down, and here we are. We are inside of the Necropolis load zone. We're just on the opposite side of the door, but we can go down in the cave systems and hit the load zone for the pit. As you can see, I'm not faking anything. We're actually inside of it. All of those glitches are real. And we can just head down the staircase here, Guardians. And if you guys don't know, it's not any of these doors. Little weird rod things stick out of these doors. If you guys are familiar to playing like the Dreadnought, it's kind of those Dreadnought rods. If you just want to get killed by those doors there, Guardian, just hop in them, see what happens. And you guys can head down here, and we will actually hit the pit load zone soon enough if you load it up. And so just keep running down this cave system until you do actually hit it, Guardians, and just keep going down. As for this pit load zone, I have not found a way to get out of the map, but I mean, you guys can just keep heading down and look around. You guys can explore, especially for you new players who do not have access to this dungeon in the first place. This is a very cool place to look around and wonder, hey, do I really want to pay for that expansion? Do I really want to, have access to this? I mean, it's just one activity, and this seems to be a lot smaller than the Shattered Throne dungeon, but I mean, it might not be that much lacking. It's very cool hive stuff around and a little fortress underneath the map. Anyway, Guardians, there is actually one way out of map. I wanted to include it at the very end though, because it's only for one class. If you stick to the right wall as soon as you hit the load zone and you hop down right on the sledge down here, there actually is a way where you put your Titan of the missile, your code of the missile on, and you can actually just blast out the wall right there. No other class can do this, and that's why I wanted to save it for the end, Guardians. If you Titans want to get out of the map on the pit, code of the missile, just right through that, and you guys will be out of the map. Thank you, Guardians, for watching. We've gotten outside of the dungeon, and we've gotten inside of the pit and the Necropolis areas. Thank you, Guardians, for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.